For many years, an abandoned building in Buffalo has been a major concern in the Riverside community. The site is in disrepair. Calls for something to be done are now growing louder.
So what in the world is the holdup? This morning, the I-Team is sifting through the rubble to get some answers. Fenced off with bricks buckling and wooden beams bowing.
A death trap is what I see.
David Cullopy is among the many neighbors concerned about the former King Sewing Machine building on Crowley Avenue in Buffalo's Riverside neighborhood. It's been in disrepair for decades.
It's so frustrating. It is a joke.
Even the area councilman has had enough.
It sucks. It's horrible.
The view isn't much different across the street.
It's crazy. The building need to come down.
Lisa Douglas says she watched as part of the building just collapsed.
It was loud. It was a whole bunch of bricks and everything caving in.
What's worse, she says children are getting inside, crawling through holes in the perimeter fence. Her nephew snuck in and wound up getting hurt.
Of course, I cussed him out because we told him over and over to stay out the building with their kids. They don't listen, and it was scary. Just as scary, the red tape tied to this building. Former owners let it sit and rot and perish, fighting fines imposed by the city.
They spend more money on lawyers to defend their property than trying to fix the property. I mean, I don't understand that.
2 years ago, the city's Urban Development Corporation bought the building for $50,000, about $5,500 per acre. Golumbek says demolition would cost at least $750,000, and taxpayers are on the hook. He thought there was progress, but the state said not so fast. This place is historic.
We've never been closer than we are right now, but once again, the boogeyman is Albany.
The I-Team has discovered the state knows this building is dangerous. Here's a bird's eye view of the sprawling site. The areas shaded in orange, according to correspondence with the state, pose a physical and environmental risk to trespassers and to the surrounding community. At least one building has a large quantity of asbestos with debris piled within. Asbestos abatement is also planned for the entire complex.
Hopefully, Albany will relent and allow us to tear the property down.
Now, after months of back and forth with the state and the city, the I-Team has learned the state is ready to rule, and a memorandum of agreement between the state and the city is being drafted to mitigate the impacts to historic resources, which can include options for demolition. And neighbors are hopeful this comes to a community-focused conclusion.
Let's put some playgrounds for these kids to play in instead of having to play on the street, Put some basketball courts for these local kids instead of playing in the streets and having to worry about being run over by cars,
That's why I'm standing up now, speaking now, and hopefully they do something about it.
Golumbek says there are 8 acres available for redevelopment on this property, which he'd like to see used for light manufacturing. The state is expected to make a decision about the future of this site, likely within the next month. Golumbek, Katie, was telling me that he's hopeful that this time next year we'll see things knocked down and building in progress.
Well, first off, we've talked about it. That building has been there forever.
Right.
I can picture it. And when you hear neighbors talk about what's inside, okay, piles of stuff, asbestos, and kids are running through it,
right.
Very scary.
They're really concerned, and the idea is that it's not only from the neighborhood, but also from police officers and firefighters. They're concerned about crime and the potential of firefighter safety. So a lot at stake here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Ed, we will continue, I'm sure, to follow that story for